Yo guys, it's slyroh. You already know that today we're back playing some more Danganronpa 2. Every time I feel like I get towards the end of this game, it keeps getting delayed even further. We are now inside Hope's Peak Academy, or something that resembles it, and we have to investigate for clues to figure out what's going on in the outside world. Probably nothing good. I don't really know what's happening at this point. We learned some stuff about Nagito. I'm a little worried that we're going to get to the end of this game and have more questions than answers. So I'm feeling a little iffy about how this is going to go. I thought I was right at the end of the game last time, and that wasn't the case, so I'm not going to assume that I'm at the end of the game this time. Just assume from here on out that anytime I make an intro, could be the last intro you hear. I don't know. We'll see. I guess there's nothing here to look at, so let's go investigating somewhere. I don't know where we're going. Oh, I guess we're going to the old building on the 5th floor. Huh? That's weird. This is the hallway I walked through to get to the gymnasium, but it's clearly different. Is this Monokuma's doing too? Is he trying to confuse us again? I don't know what he's doing, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He's so persistent. But I'm not going to fall for his trap. There's no way this will make me back down. Yeah, and there's also a lot of this glitch stuff happening, so I don't really know what's real, what's not. I just really don't know. This hallway, there's a strange feeling to it, no? As if an invisible wall has been erected to limit our movement. Is it just me? No. I think you are onto something. I don't know where we would find information. Probably not this way. Oh, what the? Yo, the walls, though? That looks so crazy. Yeah, we're not getting in there. I just love looking around and just seeing the walls like that. It looks so... It's kind of scary. It creates a really cool atmosphere there. Probably none of the classrooms. Is that where we came from? Yeah, that's where we came from. Probably not... Well, it has to be one of these ways. So, that way... Is this something? The dojo? I guess we're going into the dojo. That's the place that we need to look at for clues. Interesting. It looks about the same as I remember it. Is this a dojo? It's full of strange things that would make me think there's no way we're inside a school. Perhaps it's a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense. Alright, the only thing that looks different is, it looked like a magazine. They're saying book. What is this? Is this a manga? The title is Manga for Morons, A History of Hope's Peak Academy by Monokuma. I mean, we should read it. Why is the manga with such a suspicious-looking title laying out in the open like this? Well, let's start with this history, class. Wow. Let's start with history first, class. Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. Then what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person. So just I thought Monokuma made this. That totally explains how suspicious it looks. I really want to just ignore it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. I picked up the manga off the floor and started flipping through the pages. It's an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy's history, as narrated by the cutesy character on the cover. The story begins with an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Built to raise hope in the nation's future, many of its alumni are key leaders of various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope's Peak Academy's teachers, who serve as both educators and researchers of talent. Hope's Peak Academy isn't just a school for talent, it's also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope's Peak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. If this persists, the Academy believes they will not be able to make progress with the research of talent. So they decided to implement a new system, the Reserve Department. Unlike the main department, who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most high schools. Nevertheless, Hope's Peak Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope's Peak Academy was now available to talentless commoners, people who only cared about the brand. With this, Hope's Peak Academy managed to amass sizable funds and begin further research of talent. To create Hope's Peak Academy's earnest wish, a true genius who would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end. Alright. That's kind of the lead up into the first game. The ending was so sudden, like a manga that suddenly canceled in the middle of its run. Plus, these phrases mentioned at the end of this manga. the tragedy and the tragedy of Host Peak Academy. These names are so melodramatic. There's no way these incidents really happened, right? This manga only mentions the names, so I don't really know the details, but no, it'd just be a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of this manga. The reserve department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those reserve course students, right? That's weird. Oh, you're here again. Ah, the thing that's weird is you, of course. Huh? Why did you forget that you were part of the reserve department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? Well, you should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right? Yeah, you'd think. So I think it's weird that you actually forgot something like that, too. What do you want me to say? Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of those reserve course students. Or you willingly seal those memories yourself. Huh? You wanted to be confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened. It happens pretty often. Not that I know anything about that, though. Are you saying it's my fault I forgot? That's not it. If things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a reserve course student. Damn it, what the heck? Yeah, we're getting truth bullets. There's gonna be like a class trial of sorts to kind of put all the pieces together. Oh boy, yeah, we're further away from the end of this than I thought. Okay. Is there anything else to look at? Armor and a helmet. Did map developers design this to reflect a Japanese dojo? I don't think we actually need to look at everything. We probably only really need to look at things that are important for whatever class trial is going to happen. Traditional looking woodblock, yeah. Nothing in particular. Alright. If there's a clue, the game will stop me from leaving. I assume once I leave... Oh, okay. I thought I was going to be teleported to a different floor. So can I go... I don't think I can go outside. So can I try and leave this floor? Is that going to be where I go? Because I don't think I can go in anywhere else. Oh, there's Kazuichi here as well.
What's going on?
This hallway, it's kind of creepy. I can't go to places that I should be able to go to. It's like some rule is being enforced for no reason. It's like there's an invisible wall or something. Yes, there is. So, nope, not that way. Can I... Oh! We can go into this classroom. I don't know if I could have before, or if I had to go in this order. There's another book. Let's see what this book's about. This is another manga. It's laying on top of the desk. This one is... Manga for Morons, The Tragedy of Host Peak Academy. Huh? Wasn't The Tragedy of Host Peak Academy mentioned in that other manga too? So I Host Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about the incident? I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the Tragedy of Host Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated, stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the tragedy of Host Peak Academy occurred at Host Peak Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamakura. Has that name showed up in this game somewhere? I don't remember. That seems vaguely familiar, but that isn't anybody from the first game. Izuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Host Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who is known as the symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Host Peak Academy's student council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. So is that classroom from the last game where there was a bunch of like blood in that classroom? However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and conceal the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of reserve course students who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began. And that heralded Host Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Host Peak Academy. Okay. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Works cited, Danganronpa 0. Oh! That sounds familiar. Is that that's something else, right? I forget if that's some sort of, visual novel or something? Something along that lines? Okay. With a heavy sigh, I close the manga. Maybe that, has, like, a longer story of that whole incident, I guess? Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way, 13 people were killed at Hope Peak Academy. What irony! For a genius knows the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident. A talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. I wonder, does that go into, like, why this Izuru person decided to kill the 13 people? Like, is there any reason for that? Is there any sort of justification? I don't know if that's something that we would find out in, like, the main series of games or not. But I'm interested as to, like, if he had a reason, if there was, like, a reason for him to be protected. Because, like, you know, if he's, like, ultimate hope and he's supposed to inspire hope, like, how is he doing that by, like, killing 13 people? I don't know. Just a question I have. I don't know if there's an answer for that or not. You should be lucky that you're incompetent. Damn it, he always has to lead up to something offensive. He seriously pisses me off. But ultimate hope. Nagito mentioned that before, too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department. Here it said that the reserve corps students in the reserve department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. Okay, so now we have the tragedy of Hope Peak. Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy of Hope Peak Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? I mean, my guess would be, oh. I would say Junko, but I mean, well, I already forget the other one. Her, like, sister. The other girl, Mukuro. This incident is really messed up, but, all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. Alright, let's see where we can go next. Maybe there's another place that's open for us now. I mean, let's see if we can leave this floor first. Nope. So, we must have access to somewhere else now. Maybe this way? Is this open for us yet? Yes. Okay, so we're just gonna go to each place one by one, I bet. Hopefully we can make it through this whole, area in this part here. What the hell is this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. There's another manga just laying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. I knew it. The next one will obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? Just what was that incident really all about? It might turn out to be something lame. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hope that I was right. A story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself was that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hope Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest, but as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and wanted destruction became their only goal. Or wanton destruction, I don't even know what that means. The strong butchered the weak killed the weakest among them, and soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear, as if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times, when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coups d'etats began occurring around the world, a war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain, just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How can a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization, devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope's Peak Academy, a group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope's Peak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they use them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society use their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. Okay. I was racing my chest, but my body felt ice cold. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. This is definitely all made up. I mean, if this was really all true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant. What's happened to them? Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you? Who would enjoy reading something like this? Oh my, you don't like manga? A high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy. Enough. What is this messed up manga? I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but figured not to remember that. Such despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault, though. Thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains. This incident really happened and I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible. How many times do I have to tell you all the clues here are real? Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world. I see, so that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning. Well, as headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know? On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate, but on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision, whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here. He's trying to make us feel despair towards the outside world, so we'll want to stay on this island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps, no, that's definitely it. Alright. Whether or not this incident really happened, when the world is this ultimate despair group. If they're devoted to a certain student who guided Hope's Peak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called Ultimates. Then are the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use, I'm going to freeze to death. I'm at my limit, I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Alright, where are we going next? Phew, that was close, I nearly froze to death. So, where should I go next? Let's see, this is still covered. There was another classroom over here. Yeah, right here. Let's see what we get told about next. No, I should ignore it. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see him. When I went inside this room, the bastard bear was suddenly here. He keeps glancing at me. I wonder why. Hey, it's going to be shitty either way. So I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm going to deal with that idiot. I don't want to do that either. Alright, well, there's no books, so... Why, hello, Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasingly well. Are you pleasing well? You're pleasing well, right? What are you doing here? Well, there's another thing I need to tell you on this floor. Yeah, I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth? You should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place. A high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating Hot Pots. I'm getting really fed up with your babbling. Hurry up, what did you need to tell me? It's about the key piece of information you've been waiting so long for. Surprise, it's about Ultimate Despair. Huh? Even though the term Ultimate Despair refers to a group these days, it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive. A high school girl? Lady Junko Inashima. Junko Inashima. As a former Ultimate Despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor, and created the Ultimate Despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group. Hold on a sec. I don't know what the ultimate despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl. Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it. That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power. Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place. So she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the threat. What was their purpose? What? Like I said, why did they cause an incident? It doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they do what they did without any purpose. It was Junko Inishima's despair. Huh? For Junko Inishima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Inishima as Junko Inishima. What are you saying? I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Inishima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving, for her, everything is despair. What the hell? With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the ultimate despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea had been slammed right into their minds. And so the ultimate despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Inishima. Like believers making offerings to their god. Like a mother providing food to her children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair, all in Junko Inishima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something that they had to do. There's no way something that crazy is possible. You know about the final days of the Reserve Corps students during the tragedy of Host Peak Academy? Final days? In other words, Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history. What do you mean final days? What happened to the Reserve Department? Of course! They fulfilled their roles as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, the 2,357 students of the Reserve Department all committed mass suicide. Mass suicide? All 2,357 students? Oops, it wasn't all of them. One person was excluded. One person was excluded, huh? Is that me? I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate despair, Junko Inishima. It doesn't scare me at all. I mean, Junko Inishima is already dead. Huh? Ultimate despair has been added. I forget. How would he know that? Was that in... I think there was some written text that discussed the last killing game that I guess it must have been in. Okay, and then we updated the Reserve Department. It's already dead. What does that mean? Why does Fuyuhiko know about that? Oh, I guess we gotta talk to him about why he knows that. Hey, Fuyuhiko, is that true what you said? Junko Inishima is really dead? What, you didn't see? There's a book called Manga for Morons, Killing School Life, in that bloody classroom. Bloody classroom? No, wait, what was that you said about the Killing School Life? Like, the killings we were involved in, they were killings that happened at Host Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. The Killing School Life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy. Hey. For a manga about the Killing School Life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags. So, did the survivors create the Future Foundation? I mean, I think that makes the most logical sense. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed Killing School Life was Junko Inishima. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Inishima is dead. Turns out that Killing School Life was part of the whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students of Host Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Host Peak Academy, and she took away their memories. That's just like us. Apparently the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. So, there's a limit to being a cruel asshole. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing? Students of Hope Peak Academies are widely known as symbols of hope. But forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival, they're trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up. That messed up plan was stopped. Junko Inishima failed. Junko lost to the students she placed in her trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then Junko's no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter. Junko Inoshima isn't alive anymore. Then, who was our enemy? Junko Inoshima is already dead. Are the rest of the Ultimate Despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings we're involved in resemble that killing school life. Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation. If the students from Host Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to some fake. But if this is really an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting to somewhere, just like the surveillance cameras during this killing school life? Who knows? And, alright, Ultimate Despair has been updated. Man, Hajime, you totally know about that story, huh? What? Do you have a problem with that? Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it. Oh well, I'll just raise the flag. Flag? What do you mean raise the flag? What's gonna happen if you do that? One step at a time, you're getting closer to clearing my character route. You're not making sense again. And then I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside. I'll raise some flags like crazy. Okay. Where are we going? I'd like to go see at least one more place. Oh, 4th floor. Huh? Changed to a different hallway again. It's so sudden. What's going on to make something like this happen? No, I've already decided that I'm not going to be surprised. That's right, there's no time for me to be surprised by something like this. Let's see if we can get a little more information before I end off this part here. Kind of twitching her nose like a beast at examining her surroundings. Hey, what happened? Well, you know, it's just my gut, but I feel like someone's getting closer. Huh? What do you mean? Who? I don't know, it's just my gut after all. Still, her gut is pretty impressive. For some reason, it's strangely intuitive. And Monokuma did say something about the main cast coming. It's surprising, but her gut must be correct again this time. Huh. Alright, let's see where we can go. So, this is locked off. That's locked off. What about the... I say, something across the way is locked off. There is a music room. Alright, so that's where we're starting. Maybe we're not going through all the floors in this building, but I'm not sure. Maybe we are? What in the world is that? This looks like the music room. I feel like I can see something strange. Yeah, what is this? Looks like some sort of monument. Why would there be a monument in the music room? And not just that, the mark engraved in the monument is the symbol of the Future Foundation, right? Below that symbol, there's a short passage engraved. To combat the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy were among the many who established the Future Foundation. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay. Huh? The Future Foundation was established by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy? Aren't they known as World Ender? This is completely different. Monokuma, he completely made it up. Okay, Future Foundation's origins. Okay, there is more in here? Oh, there's probably whatever this is. What is this? Words are floating in the air. This is like a hologram, right? The floating letters are forming a sentence. It looks like a passage from an email. Regarding the report we gave you the other day, we have obtained information. A person who claims to be a survivor of Hope's Peak Academy. Upon further investigation, there are a total of 15 survivors. You may be wondering about the number of people at this time. If they're survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, it's possible they may be targeted by Ultimate Despair. We believe we should acquire them and place them in our care as soon as possible. So, is that 15 of us? Though I don't believe the group can go that far without Junko Inoshima rallying them. In a worst case scenario, we must prevent a repeat of the killing school life. Also, if they are survivors of Hope's Peak Academy, we should expect them to be quite valuable to us. Okay. However, we are still investigating the details of their origins and we haven't located them either. We will continue investigating this matter. Also, regarding a separate matter, we have received a report from the research facility on Jabberwock Island. Preparations have been completed. It seems we can proceed with the experimental phase of the Neo World program. Survivors of Hope's Peak Academy. 15 students. Is that about us? Student Shiaki, who's part of the Future Foundation. There were definitely 15 of us, but what does survivors mean? It's like they're talking from some other world. What happened outside Jabberwock Island? The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is really true, then the world... isn't normal anymore. Maybe it's starting to feel like we might be better off not remembering the memories we've lost. Academy survivors. I guess that's all the clues in this room. It's finally confirmed the Future Foundation is on our side, at least. They were founded by the graduates of Hope's Peak Academy, and they took us in to protect us. But if that's true, Chiaki should have made that clear to us. Now, as long as Monokuma was around, she probably couldn't say anything carelessly. Monokuma, if he's the Future Foundation's enemy, then his true identity must be the ultimate despairs who caused the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The ones who are carrying out the will of Junko Inashima are making us go through this. Also, this caught my attention in the email, too. What is this research facility on Jabberwock Island mentioned in the email? What's that about? The only Future Foundation facility we found was that ancient ruin. There's no way that's the research facility. There really is a research facility on this island. There should be other Future Foundation members here. Somehow there's still so many mysteries. Oh man, I don't know what's happening. We are getting a clearer picture of the overall details of the story. So I think we're going to end this one off here, and then we're going to hopefully finish, at least acquiring all the truth bullets, which should help paint a clearer picture of the story up till now. I don't know about this main cast that's coming. I don't know if that's the original survivors or what. I don't know. Or no, that's Monokuma saying the main cast, so maybe some part of Ultimate Despairs are coming. I don't really know. Unless there's more Hope's Peak Academy survivors that they want to do something to. I don't really know. But yeah, we're going to continue investigating, maybe finish investigating next time. We'll see how it goes. And then we'll probably still have some sort of final class trial like part to put all these truth bullets together. So yeah, we're getting there, but definitely still a little bit further away than I was expecting. So I don't have anything else to say. Let's just keep going with it, and I will see y'all next time. Until then, peace out.